Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Ryan Dins, and on today's episode I'm going to discuss with you how much money that I think you should put aside if you want to follow my strategy of accumulating dividend stocks. Now just hit that like and subscribe button. It'll help the algorithm, and when you subscribe to my channel you can get free advice on how to accumulate a dividend stock portfolio. It's free at the moment. I may be charging in the future for this advice, so get it while you can. And let's go! Woo! So in a very brief explanation, I'll explain what I personally do as far as my investment strategy. What I personally do is I take approximately 50% of my total income and I take all of that and I put it to investments. So basically what I do is I take about 50% of my total income and I put it away in dividend stocks. I buy these typical high yield, high growth stocks. I buy a lot of biopharmaceutical companies like Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson. I buy a lot of tech growth stocks like Apple, Microsoft. I buy some REITs like Maine and O Realty. And then I buy some just staples of American society like Coca-Cola, Kraft Heinz, those kinds of things. I basically take the most stable, dividend paying, blue chip, Fortune 500 companies, and I buy them and I hold them for a long time. I don't plan on selling the majority of my stake in any of these things for at least 10 years. So I'm buying things that are the future of America. They're going to continue to go up through time. So, I don't take huge risks. With that being said, there's a few people that I'd recommend not to use my strategy. Just to make this clear, I think that my strategy is the best strategy, but there's a few exceptions who this wouldn't work for. First person it wouldn't work for is someone who cannot put at least 20% of their income away. Because I think that you should put between 20 and 50% of your total income away if you make less than 100 grand. If you make like $250,000, I would say put like 80% away and live frugally, because then you can get wealthy quick. But I do realize that it's impossible if you don't make good money. So if you make, say, 25 grand a year, it's going to be really hard to put 20% of your wealth away because you don't have it. And in that circumstance, I don't want to ever recommend this, but I'd almost recommend, putting $100 a month away for someone that doesn't have a lot of money and taking bigger risks. Because then maybe you can get it to a higher portfolio and then use that to buy dividend stocks. So the first kind of person that this isn't going to work for is someone that just doesn't have enough money to put 20% away. It's that simple. Also, the next type of person that I don't think this would work for is if you're like 80 years old or if you're 70 plus, I don't think this would be the best strategy, because unless you have like $500,000 to put away dividend stocks and get that income right away, say you only were like, oh, I'm going to put away $1,000 a month and you're like 80. Okay, well, you're going to be dead before you get the gain. So if I was very old, I might take more risk, because what do you got to lose? Anyone else, either you're broke or you're old, anyone else this is the best strategy for. Because what I'm doing is I'm putting 50% of my money away. I'm just going to continue to accumulate these dividend stocks, and then eventually the goal is this. Your yield is roughly going to be 5%. If you're following the strategy, you're going to want to buy dividend stocks with higher yields. So if you have $100,000, you're going to get if you have $100,000 in dividend stocks and your yield's 5%, you're going to make $5 grand a year. Passively. That's totally passive. That doesn't count the growth you get, because you're probably going to get another 5 to 10% growth out of your stocks. That's not counting the 5% dividend yield. Now, if you have $1 million, that's $50,000 a year. If you have $10 million, that's 500 grand a year. And if you wonder how the rich get richer, if you have $1 billion, you get 50 million a year. If you have $10 billion, you get 500 million a year. And these greedy rich people, they don't ever spend the money. They look at it as a high score. They don't want a better mansion. They don't want a better yacht. They just want to be richer than everyone else so that Forbes has them ranked higher. So they're basically hoarding wealth. I don't want to get into politics, but a lot of times people think this is a political problem. It's not. It's a rich, greedy people not circulating the money and hoarding the money, and it devaluates the less of the money because they have to print more money to put it in circulation because a few people are holding all of the money. But that's a different subject. But just to let you know, if you guys had $100 billion, you could literally make $5 billion sitting on your couch. Like, that's how it works. You get 5% in dividends no matter what. And there's people that are doing that. That's why if I hypothetically won $10 million in the lottery, or like, you know, inherited it or a lawsuit. None of that's gonna happen. But if I had 10 million, you're gonna get $500,000 a year on autopilot for the rest of your life. So that's why when I see people who won the lottery and went broke, I can't help but think they're complete idiots. Because, you know, say you had 100 million. I know I keep throwing these numbers around, but I just want to get it to stick in your head. 5% of 100 million, 5 million. So if you had 100 million in the bank and you won the lottery, you get 5 million a year. And these idiots will just go buy a $90 billion mansion and 5 Lamborghinis and then have no money. I know that in about 10 years though, I probably will be a millionaire if I continue to do this. That is to say, I will be a millionaire as long as I can continue to contribute the amount I'm contributing. If something goes wrong in my life and I can no longer do that, that could be a problem. But as of now, I'm on a path for $1 million in 12 years, okay? It might not be 10. But I have other things I'm doing in life that I'm trying to improve my income. So if I can improve my income, I might be able to become a millionaire in under 10. The thing that I try to stress to the members of my Facebook group, my free Facebook group, you can see the link, it's called Dividend Stock Mastery, where we talk about this strategy all the time. The thing that I try to stress to people is that you don't want to try to get rich quickly. You want to try to get rich slowly because you will guaranteed be rich if you follow this. If you do what I tell you and you put away at least 20% of your money, and it's a good amount, don't get me wrong, if you're only putting away like 100 or 200 a month, it's going to take you a long time to get to $1 million. It's going to take you forever. So you want to really strive to put as much of your income away, live as frugally as possible. I live very cheaply. I'm in a studio apartment right now. I could totally afford a 3-bedroom on the beach if I wanted to, but why? I don't need any more than that. I would rather have that money going to dividend stocks. So you just have to watch your spending, be smart, put all your money aside, and then one day you're gonna look and you're gonna have a couple $100 grand and you're just getting free money on autopilot. You know, right now I make around like almost $100 a month in passive income from this. In a year it'll probably be 200. Another year from that it might be 300-400. So it's gonna keep going, keep compounding. Look into compound interest. I'll do another video about that at a different time. But compound interest, it's, you know, when you have 10 grand and you get 10% of that a year, it's only $1 grand. But once you get to 20 grand, 10% is now 2,000 a year. So it compounds, it snowballs, it gets bigger and bigger. And the bigger the snowball gets, the more effect it has and faster it grows. So that's how it goes. The bigger the snowball, the faster it grows. So that's just basic advice. They should teach you this in school. It's pathetic that I have to go on this YouTube and tell people this. This should be taught to you in like elementary school, because this is how you get rich. Read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's a really simple explanation of this. He kind of goes into it a little more than I can, but it's very simple. Just save your money and you'll be a millionaire. Don't save your money, you want to spend on sneakers, cars, alcohol, you won't be a millionaire. It's up to you. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and thank you for joining.